let's get started. Hi, my name is Richard. I come from China. My topic is semi-automatic code review. It's about a process to improve your productivity of code review. I'm now working for GRI, maintaining the OpenFant platform. It's the biggest mobile social gaming platform. And I'm also active in the open source community. I created the Rails best practice jam, and I also built the railsbp.com website recently. I will discuss them more later. You can check out my GitHub account to get more useful tools. Okay, this is our development life cycle for each sprint. We will implement new features or fix bugs, and then we will ask other engineers to do code review. And QA will verify our chains. Then we merge the chains to a release branch. And finally, we will deploy it to production server. I think most teams using Rails should have a similar process, just like this. In the development lifecycle, you will see some process can be done automatic, and some process have to be done manually. Manual work are always easy to introduce bugs into your product, while automation makes things simple, more accurate, and less buggy. So for us, we will try to do processes automatically as much as possible. So in development process, it's obvious that we will write code manually, but sometimes we will generate codes automatically, and we write a lot of unit tests and integration tests to make test code automatically. In our code review process, we have to do it manually, because sometimes we will sitting together face-to-face review, and sometimes just sending a code compare link and leave comments on GitHub. And in our QA process, we have an integration, continuous integration test server to guarantee it that all the unit tests and integration tests are green. And we also have a lot of script code to run the regression test automatically. But besides this, we have to manually verify our product. In merge process, we use the version control system Git to automatically merge the feature branch into release branch. Only when that conflicts occurred, then we have to manually conflict them. And in deploy process, thanks to Capistrano, that we can release the new feature almost 100% automatically. So in as you've seen that we have more or less automation in every process in the life cycle, but except the code review process. You know, code review is very important that it can resolve most bugs and potential performance issues, but it really depends on engineers. For example, if engineers are familiar with Ruby and Rails, he will suggest opportunities to use a lot of Rails default built-in helpers method. And if engineers have a strong knowledge of database and HTTP protocol, he will suggest where you can optimize your DB queries and add a cache layer. So we ask if we could partially automate the code review process. The answer is yes, and this is what I want to talk today. So let's see what we review in general. It contains two parts. The first part is easy, and its goal is to make code more readable and maintainable. Like like you should following your team's coding guidelines, you should write better coding syntax, and you should remove unused methods, etc. And the second part is important, but a bit complicated, that you should review if the code is performant and scalable. And this part is really depends on the programming experience. So what if we can review the first part automatically, and the engineer just focus on their time on this more important stuff when they do code review. So I have built Rails best practice gem over the last 2 years. It is created for analyzing the source code of your Rails project and giving you some suggestions to refactor and improve your code quality. This is an example. In the edit action on top code, you will see the code reads a post from database, then it checks the privilege by just checking if the current user is just the user of post. The Rails best practice gem will tells you that there is an code smear in the post controller line 5. It suggests that you should use scope access, just like what the code importance. You should just read the post from current user's posts. So if the post does not belong to current user, a not found error will be raised. And a similar example, on the top code, before you create a post, you assign the user ID from current user. Then if you check by Rails best practice gem, it will suggest you to use model association, just like what the bottom code does. It creates the post with current user.posts, that it will automatically set the user ID. Yes. And this is an example of a suggestion to use Rails default helper method. Like on the top code, the code read user's login attribute and check if it is present. And Rails best practice gem will suggest you that you should use the query attribute. By query attribute means you can directly call login question mark on user to check if the attribute exists. I saw more and more developers begin to use the Rails best practice gem. Someone integrated it into Guard, running the Rails best practice frequently in development mode. And someone just integrated it into Jenkins, so he can run in the Rails best practice gem on their continuous integration server. And I also saw a team that they build their internal tool based on the Rails best practice gem. They score their developers' code. Also, I don't like this idea. So there was a chance in our team that we decided to pay down the technical debt. So, we have a large Rails code space. We started in early 2009. There are a lot of unused classes, unused methods, dead roads, and old ugly code. Then I used the Rails best practice gem to refactor and clean up our code base. But Rails best practice generates the analysis in terminal. So I found it's not easy to share the analysis with the team. And I also I think I need to just contact the author of the code which I want to refactor and discuss them if the code is easy to be removed. Then an idea jumped into my mind that well, why not just build an online code review service? So I built the railsbp.com early this year. It's just integrated with GitHub. Every time you push code to GitHub, the online code checker service will be executed automatically, and you can easily share the analysis with your team's collaborators because it's online, and the railsbp will keeps every analysis result, so you can track the history to see if your code quality is improving or not. And you can also configure what to review. For example, if you don't care about the use query attribute, you can just disable this checker on railsbp.com. This is how it works. Every time first you should register your GitHub repository on railsbp.com. Then every time you push the code to GitHub, GitHub will notify railsbp there's a new push. Then railsbp will check out your source code and analyze your code quality, then generate the analysis report. So you and your collaborators can all view the analysis report. So you can keep refactoring your code just according to the report. So there is a railsbp service hook on your GitHub repository admin page. So after you register your repository on railsbp, you will be assigned a token. Just set a token in this hook page and activate this hook. So if you activate it, then every time you push code, the GitHub will notify us so we can analyze the source code for you. This is the analysis report page. As you've seen that it will tell you the commit ID, commit message, and it will list all the code smears in your repository. For each code smear, it will tell you the file name, the line number, the warning message, and which commit and who introduced this code smear. And the highlight line means that this code smear is introduced by current commit. So you can also click the warning message. It will bring you to a page which gives you a suggestion how to refactor your code smear. And you can also click the file name. It will bring you to the GitHub file page. If you want, you can directly refactor your code smear on GitHub. So before you ask your senior engineers to do code review for you, you can code review your code on railsbp by yourselves. So it can improve your code quality and also save other engineers time. So this is the history tracking page. The visual chart shows how many code smears in your repository historically. And there is also a table that lists every analyzed result. You can click any item to go to the analyzed report page. Okay, it is also configurable. I understand that not all checkers in the gem are suitable for all Rails teams. Some Rails teams may have different idea of Rails best practice. So you can select which checker should be activated and turn off other checkers as you like. So this is only part of the configurations. You can just select the checker that you think is suitable to your team, and some checker also accept some parameters, so you can customize for your team. This is the configure collaborator page, so you can add or remove the collaborator to grant them a privilege to configure your repository on railsbp.com. And for simplicity, you can synchronize the collaborators from GitHub. Okay, so I know that different teams may have different code guideline. It's probably there are some code guideline in your team that the gem can't analyze. So, but don't be depressed. The Rails best practice gem provides a way to extend itself for your team by writing plugins. So here, I will give you an example how to write a plugin. So you know that Rails provides a convenient helper method try. Calling try on new object will always return new. So I want to find the code in my repository to see any code that is doing the same thing as the try method. So I can replace the manual code by using the default try method. Okay, so let's see how to do it. Can you see them clearly? And this is the test code for use try checker plugin. As you see, it's readable. There are only 3 tests. In the first 2 tests, if I use author author.name column new, or I use author.new new column author.name, that means they did the same thing with try method. So I should replace the code with author.try name, right? So the gem should told me the file name, the line number, and the warning message with use try on author. So, and in the third test, there should no such code smear be detected. And every time you write a plugin for your for Rails best practice gem, be sure you write the test code first. So it makes your things easier. So this is the use try checker plugin implementation code. I recommend you to read the document of Reaper in Ruby 1.9 first. Reaper is a library to convert your Ruby source code to abstract syntax tree. So Rails best practice gem is based on Reaper. So here, I only check the if op node in all the Ruby files, and it checks the 2 cases that I have written in the test code. So as you can see that it's not too difficult to write plugin. So you can just write the plugins for your teams. So you can promise your code base is always good quality. If you don't want to write plugin just in your own repositories, feel free to fork the gem in GitHub. And as you see that the website is also open sourced, so feel free to contribute to them. And at the end, I will give you a demo. So this is, I create a Rails project on GitHub. The Rails BP is just a simple Rails project, and I add the user and the post model by the scaffold. Okay, so first, let me register the repository on Rails BP. I type the GitHub name, and I create a repository. It will synchronize the information on GitHub, and you will be assigned a repository token. Just copy it and update the token on GitHub. Yeah, you will see this is your repository administrator page. There's a service hooks. Scroll down, there's a Rails BP service. And scroll up, you should replace the URL and the token and activate this token or this service. Then just update the settings. Then next, you push the code. You will see the analysis report page. You see we have some code smears, and we have a lot of replace instance variable with local variable. So if I don't care about this checker, I can add it to repository. I set the configuration. Let's search the replace. Then I uncheck this checker, update the configuration. So let's see next, we push the code. So I directed on GitHub, I changed the readme, the doc file to push the code. Okay, I added the file. I changed its value with Rails BP demo, and yeah, I pushed the code. After that, when we back to analysis report page, you will see that replace instance variable with local variable, the code smear just disappeared. And let's see the use scope access. You click the message, then it brings you to the web page to say what the smear is and how to refactor it. Then back, you will click the file name. It brings you to the GitHub file page. Let's just fix the refactor, fix the code smear on GitHub. Okay, edit this file. So I change post.find with current users.post.find and remove the other line code. Then I add the commit message, use scope access for post. Then I push the code again. So let's back to the Rails BP analysis report page. You will see the use scope access code smear is disappeared. And then let's do another example. I change the user model file. I add a method, admin question mark, and it always return false. Okay, I add the commit message and push the code. So let's see the analysis report page. There's a new code smear. It says there's an unused method user admin question mark because we just have the method in model, but no place to call that method. So let's just go to the controller and let's change the destroy logic. Say only admin can destroy the post. So if current use is admin and it can destroy errors, we just return the flash error. Okay, the commit message is only admin can destroy the post. Let's push the code. And in the analysis report page, the code smear disappeared because you already have a code to call the admin method. So when I just clean up my code space, I will find a lot of unused methods, but I will not add code to call them. I just remove these code because they are really unused. And I didn't just fix the code smear on GitHub. I will create a local branch to do the code refactoring. Okay, that's it. Thank you.